Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mentor Monday. I have a really nice topic I chose for us today, and I want everyone to help me contribute in this topic because it's more of a conversation. I thought a lot about this. We had our big event first Saturday of every month in Spanish with Dave and Gabby also there, just like you guys had just not too long ago, the big event for Africa. So Saturday, I was the person giving the testimonial, and I started talking a little bit about this picture. So as I was saying before, my mom, she is the lovely lady in black. My sister's in green. My niece is the girl with long hair, and obviously me. So I'll tell you why this story is really interesting, and it has to do with why for life and why do people decide to stay in for life. Like, what are the reasons that people leave and what are the reasons that people stay? So I wanted to open this topic of conversation for us, but first I'm going to just show you about 4 pictures. This one is the one I want to concentrate on, and these are some of the things we did. I live in a really nice city now that this bridge actually crosses to the USA. So this is USA, this is Canada. So that was a lot of fun. This is, my son took a lot of pictures of the same kind. So this is a lovely time that we had with Mateo. Then we had lunch at a Chinese restaurant, and my niece was a big help for me when I separated from Mateo's dad. She came to live with me and support me. Now, the nice part of the story is mom had not seen my sister in a few years, so she was really happy. And I just did a little clip that I can show you of a couple of pictures. This is the sunset. There we go. That's easier to show. So anyway, that is, and this is my sister. Okay, so I want you to meet my sister again, just because, you know, she's just having fun throwing herself on the floor. But why I want to tell you this story and why I'm going to tie it to the topic is because it has to do a lot of why people stay. I chose 3 words that we're going to work today, and I want you to help me add more words of why people stay in an MLM environment. So my story goes that my sister has been in for life since 2007. So it's 2022 right now, and my sister was introduced to For Life in 2007, and she came to Canada. My sister didn't speak a lot of English then, and I had just purchased my house, and my sister was coming, my first house, and my sister was coming to look at my house and bless my house and visit me. And she had just started For Life. Somebody had given her the opportunity to meet the life For Life through the products. My sister had anemia. She was very ill every time she got her period. She was in a lot of pain. She used to not be able to work, and somebody told her, take the Rio Vita juice. Take the Rio Vita juice. That juice is gonna, like, you know, just be so good for you. And she did, and it worked really well. And then she started just falling in love with Transfer Factor, because it was helping her with, you know, an early arthritis that she had suffered, lots of pain in her hands, and she just started feeling so many good things and relief, and she was so excited. Then she started traveling an hour and a half, just like we did before pandemic, and like I know some of you are doing now, to the central meeting. And the interesting part was that she was not in Dave's team, so she was in another team. And it was the Juan Rosado team. And she used to get to these Spanish meetings, and they were so exciting. And she said, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait until Thursday, because Thursday was so exciting. And Thursday was and the Spanish people, I'm not sure, I think you guys are the same in Africa. I see you guys having a lot of fun and putting music and everything. Americans and Canadians, we're a little more, like, a little bit boring, I'm going to say, but Spanish people are a lot of fun. We are a lot of fun. I'm Spanish too, right? And so we make it a party. We do lots of fun things. And I know Jessie does a lot of fun things for you guys too. So anyway, so my sister, she starts driving an hour and a half every Thursday to get to her central meeting. However, there's an important note here. The person that had introduced For Life to her was a family member. It was a relative, not too close, but you know, the cousin of somebody. And he was international at that time. So then my sister stops taking the product and kind of dwindles down, like it happens. That's where my topic goes. She kind of like, you know, but I don't think that the relative didn't connect with her because maybe she was too far down. Maybe he had too many people. I don't know what the reason was because it was still a relative, but he didn't call her for a while. And my sister in her head had always wondered about Dave Daughtry. She had always said, I wonder where Dave Daughtry does his meetings because I want to go to one of Dave Daughtry's meetings. Well, Dave Daughtry didn't have meetings because he had phone meetings. He didn't have live meetings. And I remember these meetings a long time ago. Anyway, one fact I forgot is that in 2007, my sister came and did her first English meeting to all of my friends in my house because it was a new house. So I was doing a housewarming party and all of my friends came, and my sister, who didn't speak a lot of English, and I didn't know anything about For Life, she did her first English meeting. I don't know how much people understood or didn't understand her in English, but we had a lot of fun. We sampled the products and then she went home. So now time goes by, my sister stopped For Life for a few years. You know, she was feeling better. Sometimes people that take transfer factor for a while, then they stop and it kind of like, you know, the immune system has balanced, it works wonderful, but then it starts failing again, you know, we're aging. So here's the interesting part. A neighbor comes to my sister's house and they start becoming friends, and that neighbor wasn't For Life. And interesting, right? Now, here's the thing. The neighbor says, would you like to take some of this product? And my sister's like, oh, I've been looking for this product. I actually used to take it a couple of years ago, but I stopped. Yes, I want to do it again. I have to open a new code. Well, she opened the new code, and guess what? Right under Dave Daughtry. She didn't know that at that time. So it's interesting because now she was really close to the line of Dave Daughtry. And so the friend, Laura, the upline says, oh, they became really close friends. They were neighbors. They started working together again. And at that point, now we're in 2012, I was getting divorced. And my sister was sending me my niece, who you saw in the picture, to support me and help me with my baby because I was, you know, going through a difficult time. I needed my, you know, in our families, I know in the African community, in the Spanish community, we're the same. You're like, oh, take the niece, she'll help you for a while. So she traveled, and my niece is American. So she didn't have any other opportunity to do in Canada because she can't work because she doesn't have a work permit. So my niece said, why don't I just do For Life? You know, my mom has always done For Life. Maybe I'll do For Life. At that point, I'm still working in Avon as a manager, so I'm not thinking about For Life, okay? So now it's been 5 years. My sister's been like, oh, I love For Life, I love For Life. And my niece starts doing For Life, and guess who her first batch of people that sign up under her, because my niece starts like working really hard doing the meetings, and I'm bringing her, I drive her, and you know, I teach her how to present. But I didn't teach her about For Life because my sister is the one that was very involved. I just said, listen, this is what you need to do. You need to talk to a lot of people. And she just wrote a little bit about it. I said, I used to tell her, you got to go out with 10 business cards and you can't come home until you have given out those 10 business cards. Now, if you get names, even better. But if you have not given them, you're not allowed to come back home. So this 19-year-old, she's walking with her business cards that I sent, that I had done for her. And she's meeting people in the street. Like, this is the way I knew how to do it. So she didn't connect with her own friends because she was 19 and she just didn't like the fact that, I don't know, she thought it was a little weird for her friends. So I said, talk to strangers, just talk. So my niece, and then I start educating her on how to do the business plan. And as I start educating her, I started falling in love with For Life. I was like, wow, that compensation plan? Wow, we're in that many countries. Wow, and I kept going, wow, and wow. But I had the security of the linear income. And I had just gotten divorced. And so I was like, oh, I don't think I can jump full time. Now, the problem was that both companies were direct selling MLM. So I can't do both like some of you can. But I wasn't ready to quit. So what I said to her was, so the first batch of people that signed up were the people that had gone to my party in 2007. All of my friends, they were, and why did they sign up? Let me tell you why they signed up, because that's when I started taking the product, when my niece came. Here's the interesting part. My sister had been trying to tell me about the product and I had never listened. But when I started taking the product did what it does, which is it worked. And I had suffered from allergies since I was just kind of helping my sister. I wasn't really even paying too much attention about what transfer factor is. But I'll tell you something. Our product works, and everybody knows that. And so I had allergies that I looked like I had a flu the whole time. And all of my friends noticed that my allergies had disappeared. And so do you know what happened? We didn't even have to do even too much. My niece would do the presentation, and everybody said, whatever you guys have, it works. Because Claudia, her eyes are clear, her nose is not stuffy. And so whatever it is, sign me up. And so they all signed up. And my sister had done a good job 5 years prior, right? So they all signed up. And what we did was we had opened an account for my mom. And I said, you know what? I think that it will be nice to build a team for my mom, because the money that she gets will be good for her pension. Whatever she gets, even if it's $100, it'll be good for her pension. So we set up a team. All of my friends signed up. They were all like, oh, I want to try that product, whatever it is. And we built a team for mom, and my niece was building her own team, and she grew to diamond really fast. Mom grew to diamond really fast. And then my sister, and then my niece, this is again part of the story. She fell through because she fell in love. She got married. She kind of like dwindled down. And my sister too, at that time, she also wasn't very active. She wasn't going to the meetings anymore. My sister was also having some marriage problems. But guess what? By this time, the bug had bit me, and I could not stop thinking about For Life. I was like, I don't want to be working anymore. I want to be in For Life. For Life is so amazing. I can't believe that, I've taken so long. And in 2016, I became what I am today, which is a full-time working for Life. Because I said, there's nothing in the world that I love more than talking about health and educating people about what we have, and especially about the business model. So that's my 3 words for today, with the story that I told you, which is similar story that I said, talked on Saturday. And so what are the things, or what are I chose 3 words that I have of how or why people will remain, or if you don't have them, why people leave. And the first one is understanding the business model. Dave Daughtry always talks to us about people that do not stay in MLM is because they don't understand the business model. So let's talk a little bit about that first one. The business model is designed for you to build a team that supports you when you're not there. So the team has to grow. Ask yourself a question. If you are only growing and you're only growing customers, the system is working, but it's working 50% of what it can be. The system needs customers. That's why we're a customer-driven company. That's why we changed the DSA, the Direct Sales Association, is built on that MLMs have to have customers. If you don't, then it's a scam. Like, they close them if they don't have customers. So that's why we open customer accounts or affiliate accounts. So you can have a lot, but if you are not servicing those customers or replenishing, then it's just what we call direct selling. And it's great. Affiliate marketing and affiliate programs work very well. You offer something you like, you get a percentage, and that's it. We have a great commission. It's from 25% when you're recommending the product. But if you're stuck at only referring the product and there's not other people in those customers that are so in love and so passionate that are also duplicating what you're doing, then you're working at 50% of what your business can be. And it's not going to grow. And that's when people actually say, it's not working, or it's not working for me, or this system that didn't work. Oh, that person was right. And so you start getting all these like lies in your head, which are lies that sometimes just, the ego wants to put them there for you, or the enemy, whatever you want to call them, is like, this system works. We are under the great Dave Daughtry, and his system worked for him 25 years ago. All of us are under Dave Daughtry because he chose to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until somebody said yes. And until some of those that said yes talked and talked and talked. Dave Daughtry always says, we get paid for talking. So if your system is not growing, I will tell you the same thing I told my niece in 2012. Go out today, or going online, out can be now virtually, and do not go to bed until you have spoken to 10 people. And tomorrow you wake up and do the same. If your business is not growing and you follow the system that I just said to you, and you say, today I will not go to bed until I speak to 10 people about my business. And if it doesn't work in a few days or in a few weeks, you come back to me and you say, it didn't work. But you show me that you've spoken to 10 people. Now, some of the systems that you can use are tracking or doing things, but I used to say to her, and I would just say, listen, you grab a sheet of paper like this, and you just fold it in four. And I'm going to show you the quickest system. You fold it in four, and you take a pen or a marker. Where did my marker go? And what you're going to do is you're going to make, I'm going to show you the quickest system. You go like this. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I'm missing 2 more. You go like this in the morning. And you know what you do? You say, I spoke to someone. Yes. I wrote to someone, but she didn't pick up. X. And that's it. At the end of the day, you count how many people you actually spoke to. So you set up a goal of 10. And if you spoke to 3 or 4, that's your number. And so at the end of the day, you mark 4. Those are the 4 that actually said, oh, okay, yeah, let me talk to you. Let me hear your presentation. For that, you have to have your elevator pitch or your short presentation, which is your 10-minute presentation or your napkin presentation. So for those of you that have not read the book, 45 Seconds That Will Change Your Life, you should read this book. 45 Seconds That Will Change Your Life. If you don't have that book, just Google it. And part of the book says, the first 3 or 4 chapters, it says, have your napkin presentation, because you should call the person and say, I have something amazing. You're in my list. I'm going through a list. It's just homework. And I can promise you 10 minutes to tell you what I'm going to have to say. Just give me 10 minutes and I won't tell you anything ever again if you don't want to. But if you give me 10 minutes, I have the most amazing thing to tell you. And you do. And if she says yes, then you mark her yes. And if she says yes, I want to hear more. So if you don't have your 10-minute presentation, we need to work on that. Your uplines, Bansi, the Diamonds, Florence, Jesse, your presidentials, Dr. Gina will help you with that 10-minute presentation. 10 minutes. Now, understanding the business model is knowing that you have 2 different ways to make money. Let me repeat them. Selling, talking about the product. But if you consistently just get customers and those customers are not starting to talk, then you're only working 50% of your business. Because the other part of the business is when that other person says, this is the most amazing thing. It's like it clicked me, right? I was already in network marketing and I was educating other people to build network marketing groups, but I was getting a check. So it's not that I didn't understand it, it wasn't my time. And that's the other thing. So the second word I have for you, so mark that down. That one is understanding the business model. The business model is not that we are a company that sells. We are a company, like Dave Daughtry always says, that moves people. We do not move bottles. We do not move products. We do not move pills. If other people see you just selling bottles and selling pills and selling transfer factor, they're going to think you're a salesman, and you're not a salesman. You are a network marketer. So be very careful with the words that you choose. And so that's why you need to have that 10-minute presentation ready. And it's very quick that you're going to talk to them. Actually, it takes 3 minutes, and it's in your app. It's in your For Life Connect app. And it's that very short English presentation that says how the business model works. It's about sharing products with others. And it's about creating income by sharing something. And remember, we don't oversell it. We don't overblow it. If you see the video, and I can actually put it in before we finish, it says you can make enough money to buy a lipstick or get a pair of jeans. So you don't want to say you can become a millionaire, because what you're doing is just catching enough attention for the person to know that you can make an extra $200, $100. Because if you make it so big, that's when people actually start saying, that's a scam, or it's a pyramid, or getting all those blockages that we have. But if you say, would you like me to teach you how to make an extra $200 a month? You know what? Everybody says, okay, it can grow, it can be more if you want to put more time into it. But I can help you and I can support you make $200 extra a month. Why? Because we know, and both of us are emerging. Most of you, I think Belize is also emerging. You know that the bonus is 50, 200, and 800. So let's focus on the 3 and 6. By the time you have 3, 9, so you have the 2 levels of your bonus structure, you're going to be fine. You're going to be making more than 500. But we don't oversell it. So make sure you have that presentation. The second word I chose is desire. So why didn't I fall in love when my sister fell in love in 2007? I had a job. I was very well paid. I had a husband. He earned a lot. But then things didn't it wasn't like that anymore. In 2012, I got a divorce. And in 2015, I chose to quit my job. So times change. But my desire was that I had no time. It didn't matter how much money I made. It was in my job. I was exhausted. I could never see my child. My mother was raising my kid, and I was just going to work and coming back, going to work and coming back. And I was home-based business, but I was always out in my car recruiting and looking for people for the other company. And I was like, why don't I do this? Why don't I look for people for my team? But my desire was to have time with my child. And so my sister had told me about the product. My desire was not to get healthy. My desire was not to make more money. I was making okay money. It was very comfortable. But my desire was to have more time with my child. So when your desire burns, it's like when you're getting married. So there's two things. I think most of us are Christians or Catholics here. And so it's the same thing when you actually fall in love with God and you just want to talk to everybody about God and the event that's happening at church and everything. And sometimes it kind of dies down and then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to be on fire again for God. And it's the same thing when you're married. My pastor always says, you have to fall in love with your husband every morning. You have to declare it. So friends, it is the same thing with network marketing. It goes up and down. I'll tell you, because I've been a long time in it. And so you have to wake up and you have to surround yourself with people that love network marketing, not the naysayers, the ones that say it doesn't work. Look at how long you've been in it and your check doesn't grow. Oh, you know what? Selling those pills again. Those people, they don't do you any good. You need to surround yourself every day like you do. This is why Jesse and Dr. Gina and the leaders in Africa are holding the meetings every single day. Why do you think we try to hold the fort? Because you need a space to call home. You need a space to say, I'm not crazy. I know it works. And so that's where we all get together and say, of course it works. Have you seen Dave Daughtry's checks? Have you seen his $5 million house with his cars are $100,000 and more? And where he tells us that his children have never traveled anything but first class. This is the life. And you know, he says 22 years ago, I couldn't even pay Gabi the first date. So does Dave have something different? No, he's just been in it longer and he talks a lot. The third word I have for you, so the first one, understanding the business model. We're not employees and we're not business owners. We are network marketers. We are social networkers. We talk to people about something we love and we give the plan. That's all we do. The second one is desire. You need to revamp that desire every morning. Ask yourself, why am I in MLM? Why am I here? Why do I love it? Why do I want to do it? How do I want to do it for the rest of my life? Because let me tell you something. I find every morning telling my husband I could not do anything else but for life, to teach people about health. I don't want to do anything else. And the next thing is your team. So again, this is why we do the meetings. This is why we do the trainings. This is why Jesse held a retreat. And this is why uplines that are already diamonds hold the fort by always making sure they call their people. And so you follow the same thing, you call your people. It's not about calling your people to say, why is your order not there? It's about saying, I am your family member. I am your for life family. Are you okay? Is there anything you need? Why are you not placing your order? You're not placing your, tell me the truth. It's not, I don't really care about your order because I can find other people to place the order. But let me ask you, why are you stealing yourself from this chance? And find out why. Is it because they don't have money? Is it because they don't believe in it anymore? Is it like, what is it? And so that's where the team comes together. And the team is your tribe. The team is your community. The team is where you actually can go and say, I know that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, which is talk to people about a new business model that can change people's lives, that can help women raise their children from home, that can help men have an extra income so that they don't work without seeing their children grow up because they're working all the time. What is it? And also, obviously, I do want to focus. I want to help people with their health. But sometimes we focus so much on helping people with their health that we forget the business model. And I'm telling you that you could do for life with the toothpaste. So it's not that transfer factor doesn't matter. But when you start thinking that transfer factor is more important than the business model, you are cheating yourself out of success. You could do this business with just the toothpaste, if you understand the business model. Now, the fact that we have transfer factor, which has all the patents that it can be sold in so many parts of the world, all of those are additional perks that we get for being in for life. Our company is so organized. It's got so many good things. Convention is coming. But remember that the network marketing industry, it's about having something that you love so much that you can share with others and create the income by explaining the compensation plan. And the compensation plan in this company is so easy to explain and it's so simple, and you start earning right away on the first person that you invite to your team. And so that was what I wanted to touch on today. I want to see if anybody else has something to say. It's 1:37, but I want to hear from some of you. Let me see if I have something in the chat. I got 3 people. Susie, thank you. You got me the number. So let's hear it. Bansi, you give me a hand because I know, and Jesse, what do you think? What are the words that come to your mind when you're talking about why do people stay or why do people leave network marketing? Who wants to go first? Or anybody, Doro, Dr. Gina, who wants to tell me what is it that you think, right, that you think is what gets people to stay and stay motivated. Why are you motivated? Let's start with asking you, what motivates you? Mercy or Janet, who can tell me, or Margaret, or some of the people that I've spoken to, most of you, Sabina, maybe William I've never spoken to, but most of you we've talked. What motivates you to stay in for life? Because once you marry, it's like a marriage. You should not be jumping around to other companies, or this is the one you married. It's an amazing company. It's got an amazing product, great compensation plan, an amazing team. There's nothing else out there better than what you already have. So what keeps you motivated? Come on, somebody, talk to me. You guys are always so quiet, except Jessica, who ends up at the end saving my leaving me alone. Janet Bacasa, you're an amazing leader. What keeps you motivated? Can you talk to us? Let me see if Janet can talk. Janet, can you hear me? Okay, let's try and talk to Janet is out. Good. Janet, can you talk? You're okay?
Yes, Claudia, I'm okay. Thank you very much.
Hi, my darling. How are you? Tell me something. You're an amazing leader. You've grown a lot. You're a great example to others. What keeps you motivated?
Thank you, first of all, for the presentation you've given. It's very motivating. And one great motivator is you great leaders. And then also the people that I have helped to get their health and their joy back. When people are helped by us sharing the product, that gives me a lot of joy, and I can go and go and go just talking about the products and getting people to realize the kind of good health that our amazing products provide. After working in hospital where you're giving people conventional medicine, where this thing that this person is taking will not even help them, because it's actually not going to heal them, but it's like keeping them there so that they keep coming back for it, and it doesn't help. Then they take one amazing for life product and it turns everything around. That gives me great joy, and I just want to keep talking about the products. And then it all started, first of all, with my own health. There are so many things that were not going right with me, and I did not have any other solution until I came across the For Life products through Dr. Ojina. And using the products is so good, because not only do they taste good, but they give us amazing results, and they make us more youthful and more youthful. People can't even believe my age today. And it's not like it's because of anything else, but the products I'm using and the positive attitude with which I have received in the trainings and the coachings that we have with amazing leaders who are always, I wouldn't know that, Claudia, you've gone through a divorce. You're always so joyful. You always look like everything has worked for you since you were born. And having amazing leaders like this is just so motivating. You imagine that you can mount any problem and you can overcome anything. So together with a good motivational team, together with a good attitude and good spirits around us, all this is so motivating for me to go on. In fact, when I've not spoken to any of the For Life family, you feel like you're missing something, because every time we connect with Jesse, you connect with Claudia, you connect with Dr. Ojina, you connect with all this amazing team, Nelly, Bansi, and all the rest. I pick a call and talk to Bansi, and she leaves me so motivated. So this is a family that keeps me wanting to come back for more. Thank you very much. Back to you, Claudia. I can say more and more, but I thank you.
I love it. I love it. No, you motivated me. That was fantastic. And you know what? Doesn't she express exactly what I said? It's like, oh, you did it so well. It looks like we had planned it together. No, Janet, it was exactly that. It's almost like, you know what? There are people out there that need exactly what we have. And what we have is not only transfer factor. What we have is those times when you said, I just pick up the phone when I don't feel too good, and fancy just lifts my spirit up, and I just go into one of Dr. Gina's chat. And you know what, Janet, thank you for saying that. Yeah, that I feel like that. I think God has always been very, very uplifting. Like even in the worst times, I've always been a very positive person. But the one reason I quit my job in 2016 was because I couldn't do for life. Because in 2015 I quit because it was conflicting with my job, right? It's a network marketing company, so I had to leave it. But then I also thought, if I don't quit my job, other women that are feeling that they have had to left their husbands and that they don't have the opportunity will think that it's because, Claudia, I have so much grace from God, from always, that I was going to say they're going to think that I do good because I already have a job, or I already have, the income that I had from my husband. So I always truly believe that when I left my marriage, I had to leave because it was a very toxic relationship. I left with nothing. I left Mateo's father the house. I left them the car, which was like the latest Mercedes Benz. It was a beautiful Jeep. And I left everything behind because a promise, a conversation I had with God. I said, if I leave everything behind, I know you will give everything back to me, but I just need peace and freedom, and I need to be fine with my child. So it was a story of a testimonial where I said, and please, God, allow for life to be what I can show other women that have nothing. And so for me, it was, and it continues to be, that for life and the network. Let's talk about network marketing, because what I want you to understand is the network marketing beauty, and is that because all the companies work, it's just that we're in the best one. When a person, woman or man, but my niche market are women. So when a woman has no education, she can do for life. When a woman is very young, 14, 15, and gets pregnant and didn't even finish her education, she can do for life. When a woman is a senior and she's been out of the job, or maybe has never worked in her life because maybe the husband and the kids took care of her and maybe they don't now, she can do for life. When a woman is very sick, she can barely move, she can't even leave her house, she can still do for life. When a woman can't read because she hasn't been given the opportunity, when a woman has been diminished by maybe work, or I don't want to go always to domestic violence, but for me, it was always domestic violence, my call. So when a woman has been lost into all the things that other people said about her, she can do for life. And so for me, the network marketing industry has always been the only solution for people that have nothing left, because you can do for life without 1 cent. People say it's so expensive to do for life. No, you only have to talk more and more. You can do for life and do many of these. If you do 10 a day, 20 a day, or 100 a day, that's your choice. Because there's one thing that God gave us, and it's a mouth. And now we have great leaders and great opportunity. But if you just do your 10 circles and you have a pen and a paper and you talk to people and you have your 10-minute presentation, you can do for life. You need nothing else. And so I thought, how not to give this message to the women that have 5 and 10 children that sometimes don't even know how to feed them, when what they can do is bring income to their house by sharing an opportunity and having a team that is supporting them all the time. People used to say to me when I was prospecting a lot of people in Kenya, and I started understanding how difficult it is in Kenya. I don't have enough money for my phone. I don't have enough money I can't do this business because I don't have enough money for my minutes, and I can't go into the meetings. And so for me, it was a little more difficult to continue with Kenya because I needed to communicate with them, right? And I had so much support from all the leaders in Ghana and Kenya, but I stopped recruiting. But my point is, if you're there, you don't even need a phone and you don't even need Wi-Fi. You just need a great upline and you have it. And so that's why it's the greatest business model on earth. Like I just don't think there is anything better than the direct selling and network marketing industry for everyone. Okay. So I think Bansi wants to talk. So let me finish with Bansi and she can tell me what she's excited. I can see her face smiling and she wants to input. Bansi, what motivates you? Give me those, those wise words, because you always have something so wise to say. What motivates you?
Thank you, Claudia. That was really an amazing presentation. As Janet has said, very, very amazing. For me, many things, but I'll speak of two only. One, the growth that comes in being in this industry. As a career person, when you grow in your career, it's so skewed, it's not, you don't grow in all facets of your life. But when you're in network marketing, MLM, you are able to grow in all areas of your life. You become a more well-rounded person than just career growth. It's so different. And for me, the years I've been in network marketing, and especially for life, I have grown as a person. My interpersonal skills have improved. The way I view things, the way I view the world, the way I view health, and all facets of life. It is really improved. So that's very key for me, growth. Number two, residual income. As an employed person, I know after I retire in the next maybe 10, 15 years, I'll get very little of my pension, which cannot even sustain me. But the residual income that I can get from MLM will enable me, live a life that I want. I want to retire and travel the world, not just sit back broke and can't even feed myself. But that's what pension does when, retire from a normal job. So for me, the fact that you can be in this business, make as much money, have residual income, and live, as the scripture says, you live wealth, a wise person lives wealth for their children's children. You can do that through this business. So for me, that's really also key, and it really motivates me, like, yes, this is a place to be. This is a place to be. So I should be transiting from, being employed to full-time network marketing, because that's where, the growth is, that's where the money is. And, that's where my tribe is, people who can really understand me and understand them. Not, in the office, it's just about knocking each other's hands and having to get things done. But here we understand each other. So for me, those two are very, very key among many others. Thank you.
I love it. That's why she's become such a great coach. God gave her the gift of talking, but what an incredible thing that she can, study law and be a lawyer and do all the things that lawyers do, but also to utilize those gifts and talents that God has given her to inspire and motivate. And like Janet says, it would have been different when she is protecting somebody from the law. It's great, right? Because she is the lawyer and she has a client. But think of what Bansi can do now as a coach in network marketing. It's not only a relationship of client lawyers. It's a relationship of she speaks and she's sending those blessings to so many people, including right now, blessing me in Canada. And we have Susie in Belize. And wow, what a reach, bigger reach that she can do with the gift of talk that God has given her. So very good, Bansi. I love it. You've grown so much too. I love the way you talk. So let's close it up. If anybody else wants to give me their 1 or 2 words of why they are motivated, why they know they're in the industry, and why I'm asking you to do this is because as you speak, you hear yourself and it helps you. I don't want you to always be in watching the game. It's like a TV. It's like, oh, Bansi talks so nice and Claudia talks so nice. Throw yourself in that crocodile pool that Dave always says and say, wow, when I say it, I believe it. You know why I do these Monday Mentor Mondays, Monday. One day Dave will come and you guys will finally have a rest from hearing me. No, just kidding. But the thing is, every time I talk, I get more inspired. And Bansi can tell you that. And Dr. Regina can tell you that. And all the speakers, every time you talk, is like you're doing the talk to yourself. You're like, oh, I can't believe I just said that. I'm so inspired. I'm so excited. It's like you're feeding yourself that energy to you. You give it to others and then it's like coming back to you. So let's hear from one more person who wants to say what motivates them for staying and being and always be.
Okay. Hello, can I share something?
We'd love to hear you, Susie, because we want to hear people from different continents. So definitely.
Hello, everyone from Belize. I'm so glad. Something very important that Ms. Kenya said, what the lady from Kenya said is, we always feel so grateful because we can come home to you guys, to this team. It's so wonderful. You know, we always have up and downs, but something that we've learned in this industry is that we need to be consistent. And I think that's what motivates me, coming back to our little niche and feeling welcome. It's very powerful. Thank you. I don't really want to say much, but just to say thank you. Thank you for everything you guys have shared. It's so motivating. Thank you.
Oh, that's sweet, because Susie does get a little bit sometimes busy with lots of stuff. She connects once in a while. And Susie, you are home. You know that. You know, I'm glad that you jump in, and, you know, whatever Bansi or Janet or I said, take it today. And so thank you, Florence. The products are amazing, and you're right, but not everybody wants to try them. Like I said, my sister, she tried for many years. Like, think of that. When I started my story, 2007, and I ended up only in 2016 trying the product. And sorry, 2012 I tried the product, and 2016 going full time. So it was a long process for her to get me, but there's nothing else I would rather be doing. Take a piece of paper, fold it in 4 before we finish this meeting, grab a pen, make 10 circles. Make a commitment that you will share this message to 10 people today. And then tomorrow, repeat again. And you will see that there is nothing else. It works. You need to practice your 10-minute presentation. Call Bansi, call Dr. Gina, call me. Just say, you know what, I want to do a presentation to you. Homework. Not all 10 people will say yes. Tell me next week. So next week we'll be here with Gabby. So next week is Gabby's turn to talk to you about follow-up and proper follow-up again, but it's on why we lose our customers. So Gabby's going to talk to us about why we actually lose them to another company, or lose them to, you know, the store, to the they bought something else. And it's because we're not doing our proper follow-up or proper calls. So again, try this method, and I'll tell you why. Because next week, I want to hear from some of you of who did you talk to? What did you say? How did it go with the 10-minute presentation? Do you have the 10-minute presentation? And if you don't have it, or if you have it but it didn't work, do you want to change it? But I can't help you. We can't help you as leaders if you don't do your homework. And so it starts sounding a little like school, but 10 a day. Out of the 10, trust me, only 3 or 2 will say yes, but you need to talk to 10 to get at least 1 to say, okay, let me hear that. You know what, whatever, just do your homework with me. And you can say that, say, I have some homework, I need to do a presentation. Can you be part of my exercise and allow me to give you my presentation? You can use it, don't worry, it works. All I need is to see those circles. If by the end of the week, you have 7 days, 10 circles, you would have spoken to 70 people. Most of them will have said no, trust me, I know that. But even if 1 said, I'll listen, or 3, that might be your next platinum. So do your homework, work on your circles. I'll see you next Monday and tomorrow, Health Talk with Dr. Gina. Bansi, thank you. Susie, we love you for being here. And Janet, thank you for sharing. Jesse, Dr. Gina, always great to see you guys. I'll see you next week with Gabby on our topic, proper follow-up. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Bansi. Enjoy.
Thank you, Claudia.
Bye-bye.